Deontay Wilder, to this day, still carries the most devastating right hand in the entirety of boxing. But on April 4th at the O2 in London, Derek War Chisora will be walking straight into the eye of the hurricane and will be trying to take Deontay Wilder's head clean off. Can Derek Chisora pull off what would be considered by most as a massive upset, or will Deontay Wilder send him into retirement in devastating fashion? Let's go through a full technical breakdown of who will win this fight. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video for the only correct prediction for this fight. Now, what do we know so far? Well, if it was on record alone, wins, losses, draws, then this is a whitewash for Deontay Wilder. He has a far better win on loss record than Derek Chisora does. This should be, however, a lesson to casual boxing fans that just because somebody maybe is undefeated doesn't particularly mean that he will beat a fighter that has lost maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 times, especially if you've been fighting lower level opposition while building that record up. And that is exactly the situation that we are in here with Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora. Deontay Wilder's only losses have come against the very, very top level of the sport. Joseph Parker, Zhilei Zhang, kind of fringed world level, I would say, and then Tyson Fury. But the wins that he has had have come against people who he was expected to knock out. Maybe Luis Ortiz is an exception to that rule, but in the same instance, he was also 157 years old when he fought him in both fights. So you're knocking out an old man there. Yeah, it's not really a massive win. Archer Spilker, not fantastic. Dominic Breazeale, the list goes on in terms of Deontay Wilder's opposition. Whereas Derek Chisora, his losses have come against the very, very best in the sport. Tyson Fury, Ajit Kabayel, that was actually viewed as a bad loss for Derek Chisora back in the day. It has aged like fine wine, given that a lot of people now are picking Ajit Kabayel to beat Alexander Usyk, who is the king of the heavyweight division now. He lost against Dillian Whyte when Dillian Whyte was at the top of his game. This isn't a Dillian Whyte who fought Moses Itama and got iced out in a round. This is a Dillian Whyte who people were saying may well and probably would go in there and beat Deontay Wilder, who was WBC world champion at the time. He has lost to Tyson Fury 3 times. Deontay Wilder losing to Tyson Fury twice and drawing once, but we know that that draw should have actually been a loss. Let's be blatantly honest with ourselves. So yeah, when it comes down to records, I'm not putting too much into it for this. I might put into resume later on in the video, but we will come down to that. Now, Deontay Wilder's record as it stands, going into his 50th fight, which is the same as Derek Chisora, 44-4-1. So 44 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Derek Chisora, on the other hand, 36-13 with 23 KOs out of them 36 fights. Now, the KO record for Deontay Wilder is 43 KOs in 44 fights. So the power, no surprise, goes to Deontay Wilder without a doubt. With both guys going into their 50th fight, you would expect this to be a very emotional farewell for both guys. If Deontay Wilder wins this, that won't be the case. Deontay will probably go on to try and fight Alexander Usyk, that it was trying to be lined up for this fight. But Usyk's now fighting Rico Van Herven in Egypt instead. And Deontay Wilder is ending up with a Derek Chisora fight, which is a massive fight, and it's arguably more of an entertaining fight, more of a what-if fight than it would be if he fought Alexander Usyk. Now, if Derek Chisora does win, he has said that this is his final fight ever. I will believe it when I see it, but I do think that going out with a win against someone with Deontay Wilder's prestige, let's say, would be a fantastic swan song, especially given the form of Derek Chisora at the moment. So if Chisora wins, I think we will see both men retire at the end of the fight. It'll be emotional, there'll be tears, particularly for me with Derek Chisora retiring, because I absolutely love Derek Chisora. He is a proper cult hero, and he is one of the best British boxing heavyweights we have ever had in terms of getting the backing of the public. Now let's go into Deontay Wilder's game. It is all power, it is raw power, it is landing that right hand or maybe even a left hook. It is walking your opponent down, it is trying to land the devastating shots and putting your opponent to sleep. You won't see Deontay Wilder fighting on the back foot, jabbing and moving, pivoting or anything like that. It is very straightforward. It is come forward and annihilate. There are massive, massive holes in Deontay Wilder's game though, particularly around his defense and particularly around the fact that when Deontay gets backed up, he doesn't quite know what to do. This is exactly why Tyson Fury in their second fight was so dominant. It wasn't down to the ring walk gear. It wasn't down to anybody poisoning his water. It was just that Tyson Fury adopted a game plan that essentially bullied the... Despite the fact that Deontay Wilder has gaping holes in his defense, Derek Chisora also has the same. When he is fighting taller and rangier opponents, he does tend to get clipped quite a lot. And getting clipped by someone like Deontay Wilder is a recipe for disaster. That could send him to sleep. It could banish the man to the shadow realm if he does get clipped with a shot. Derek switches off from time to time after throwing his big right hand. Sometimes he walks forward with his hands down. When he gets tired, he plods forward, doesn't really move his head. Now, that could be devastating, and that is going to be a major, major point in this fight, especially if it does manage to go into the later rounds. Derek could 100% get absolutely wiped out here by Deontay Wilder's right hand or even maybe a little left hand hook that is thrown after Derek Chisora falls short on his big winging overhand right. Deontay Wilder also has the physical advantages that normally would be a major, major telling point in a fight. He is substantially taller than Derek Chisora, he is rangier, and he is more athletically built and quicker than Derek Chisora. So you would kind of think that Deontay would be able to, just outland Derek Chisora or land shots as Derek Chisora is coming in with them physical advantages. But the problem is Deontay sometimes is not very, very good on the boxing IQ front, and I'm not entirely sure we will see Deontay Wilder line them shots up or fight off of the jab, because we haven't seen Deontay do that for many a year now since he left his old team and went over to Malik Scott. But if we do see a prime Deontay Wilder, somehow, somewhere, he rolls back the clock, it's a very, very difficult fight for Derek, and I can only see it going one way if we do see the prime version of Deontay. Will we see it though? Now, what about Derek Chisora? It's going to be simple to predict how Derek Chisora is going to come forward and fight this fight. He is going to come at Deontay Wilder from the first bell like an absolute wrecking ball. He will be on Deontay Wilder's chest from the word go, trying to back him up, pushing him up against the ropes, throwing punches everywhere. It's not even going to look like there's technique from Derek Chisora in this fight. It will be he gets Deontay on the ropes or gets into range and throws punches anywhere. Doesn't matter if they land on the shoulders. Doesn't matter if they land on the gloves. Doesn't matter if they land on the head, the body, the arms, anywhere. He's just going to try and hit him. And eventually that could tire Deontay Wilder out, who we have seen gassing fights very, very early, especially when it comes to his recent performances. I also think that Derek Chisora will build off of the style that he has been implementing recently, which is more of a unorthodox kind of almost MMA-ish sort of style to boxing, where when he is coming forward, he is bobbing constantly down, he is moving, he is twitching. He's still easy to hit because the guy is like as wide as a freaking truck, but in the same breath, it makes it more difficult to actually gauge what he's going to do, given that he is constantly bobbing down and weaving at a ridiculously slow pace and then throwing punches off of them sort of bobs and weaves off of them. I want to call them slips. They're not quite slips because he comes down a little bit too far for it to be considered a slip. That could completely throw Deontay Wilder off, and it might make it very, very difficult for him to hit Derek Chisora with that straight right hand that has put so many fighters away. I think he can take inspiration from the Joseph Parker fight against Deontay Wilder. Every time Deontay Wilder threw that right hand, Joseph Parker came inside or almost bobbed down. He he came forward and made sure that that right hand went over his head. We're gonna see Derek Chisora try that continuously in this fight, and if he can line it up properly and he can bob down while that right hand's going over his head and unleash one of them haymakers that he throws of the overhand rights, that could be curtains for Deontay Wilder. That could be night-night sayonara. See ya later. Now, another thing that is going to be very important for Derek Chisora is distance control. It is covering ground, getting inside of Deontay Wilder's big, long levers. He is going to need to get inside very, very quickly. He cannot stand at range. He cannot stand in Deontay Wilder's range because Wilder only takes one with Wilder, man. And then that's it, game over. I think to achieve this, Derek Chisora is going to, again, build on the style that he has adopted recently, where every now and again, and it looks like it's an accident, it's not an accident, I can tell you that, Derek does change to a southpaw stance to cover the distance a little bit more after he has thrown his shot. It's almost sort of swapping his body around just to make sure he gets that extra very, very long step in to get on the inside of his opponent. That could work very, very well, but in the same breath, if he doesn't switch on, that could be the end of Derek Chisora in this fight, because as we know, if you are fighting a southpaw as an orthodox fighter, the best punch to throw is the straight right down the pipe. Derek Chisora is not a natural southpaw. His defense while he is in the southpaw stance is not fantastic. So if it does land from Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora has switched off, he's not going to see it coming, and that's game over. It's just, can Deontay Wilder actually time that properly, given that his boxing IQ is not at the elite level? I'm not entirely sure. I think the swapping southpaw is going to completely throw Wilder off, and I think it is going to be a positive for Derek Chisora. With everything that I have just explained in mind, who do you think wins this fight? Has this breakdown given you more insight that has changed your mind? Do you still think that your pick will win? Is it Deontay Wilder or is it Derek Chisora? And if it is Chisora, do you see it as a massive upset or well, Deontay Wilder was completely washed? I'm very interested, so let me know in the comments. Now, before I go into my official prediction for this one mistake that both guys have made that is going to be a massive detriment to them in this fight is that they haven't subscribed to the Baker Boxing YouTube channel yet for all of the best boxing content, fight breakdowns, tier lists, weekly boxing schedule videos, etc, etc. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go and hit the subscribe button, tick the bell icon, like the video, share it out, etc, etc, because it is massively appreciated and does help the channel. Now, my official prediction for this one, which makes it the only correct prediction on social media at the moment, is that Derek Chisora will come away victorious in this one. I just cannot see Deontay Wilder keeping Derek Chisora off of his chest. I can see Deontay getting very, very tired towards the middle to late rounds, and I think this is going to be a Derek Chisora stoppage in around about round 7 or 8. If I had to put anything on it, it's going to be round 7, where Derek Chisora will knock out Deontay Wilder and put his career to bed, and then he will retire at the end of the fight. He will go off into a swan song, into applause, into cheers. The O2 is going to be absolutely booming, and I will also make the prediction that after this, King Charles will make it a public bank holiday on the 4th of April every year to celebrate. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but in the same breath, I still do think that Derek Chisora is going to beat Deontay Wilder. Now, I am interested in every single person, and particularly your prediction. So if you haven't already, go down to the comments and let me know who you think wins this fight. And also let me know if this video changed your mind on who you had predicted in the first instance. While you're down there, you might as well hit that subscribe and bell icon and like the video. And if you want to and you're feeling nice, share the video out with other people you think will enjoy this type of content, because it really does help the channel. It really does help with growth and the algorithm and all of that good stuff. I've been Baker from Baker Boxing. Peace out.